Okay. Okay.
Peace.
Okay. It's working now. Okay. Beautiful. Wonderful.
Did I
Islam.
make it?
Because I could see
Islam.
y'all, but it was just like, I wasn't really sure what was going on. But yeah,
How is that?
greetings.
How is everyone?
Everything's
Super. How about
beautiful.
yourself?
I'm here. Thank the Most High. Alhamdulillah. I'm here.
Islam.
I'm here. How was everybody's week?
Man, this week was
Busy.
amazing.
Shoot. Productive. Active. Right? How about yours?
Non-stop. Non-stop.
All right, we can get into that in just a minute. Let's get all the business out the way. I can hear y'all just fine. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, beautiful. This nice little sound check. All right. I'm glad y'all made it. All right, for the official opening. Islam, greetings, and welcome to Talk Moorish to Me. I am Sister Zarbe of CalifaMedia.com and thepurplepaperclip.com. And with me are brother Abir Chanan L of 43rdbooks.com. That's 43rdbooks.com. And brother Sarush L of madebysarush.com. This is our sixth weekly chat discussing Moorish Consortium, or the lack thereof, through the lens of Moorish science, including astrology, history, Moorish literature, and other topics. To those joining us and those who will enjoy this at a later date, welcome and gratitude for your interest and attention. All right. Okay. So keep it rolling with trying to maintain some consistency. I'm going to read a passage from the Holy Quran.
All right.
This is chapter 38. Make sure I'm reading that right. Yes, 38. Holy instructions from the prophet, the soul of man. The blessing, O man, of thy external part is health, vigor, and proportion. The greatest of these is health. What health is to the body, even that it is honesty to the soul. That thou hast a soul of all knowledge, the most certain of all truth, the most plain unto thee. Be meek, be grateful for it. Seek not to know it perfectly. It is inscrutable. Thinking, understanding, reasoning, willing, call not these the soul. These are its actions, but these are not its essence. Raise it not too high, that thou be not despised. Be not thou like unto those who, falling by climbing. Wait, let me start that over. Raise it not too high, that thou be not despised. Be not thou like unto those who fall by climbing. Neither debase it to the scene of brutes, or to the sense of brutes, nor be thou like the horse and the mule, in whom there is no understanding. Search it by its faculties, know it by its virtues. They are more in number than the hairs of thy head. The stars of heaven are not to be counted with them. Think not with Arabia, that one soul is parted among all men. Neither believe thou with the sons of Egypt, that every man hath many. Know that as thy heart, so also thy soul is one. Doth not the sun harden the clay? Doth it not also soften the wax? As it is one sun that worketh both, even so it is one soul willeth contraries. As the moon retaineth her nature through darkness, spread itself before her face. As the moon retaineth her nature, though darkness spread itself before her face as a curtain, so the soul remaineth perfect, even in the bosom of a fool. She is immortal. She is unchangeable. She is alike in all. Health calleth her forth to show her loveliness. Oh, let me read that again. Health calleth her forth to show her loveliness, and application anointeth her with the oil of wisdom. Ooh, I like that. Although she shall live after thee, think not she was born before thee. She was created with thy flesh and formed with thy brain. Justice could not give her to thee exalted by virtues, nor mercy deliver her to thee deformed by vices. These must be thine, and thou must answer for them. Suppose not death can shield thee from extermination or examination. Think not corruption can hide thee from inquiry. He who formed thee of thou knoweth not what. Okay. He who formed thee of thou knoweth not what. Can he not raise thee from thou knoweth not what again? Okay. Perceiveth not the cock the hour of midnight? Exalted he not his voice to tell thee it is morning? Knoweth not the dog the footsteps of his master? Flieth not the wounded goat unto the herb that healeth him? Yet when these die, their spirit returneth to dust. Thine alone surviveth. Yet it's kind of hard to read with all these if. So excuse me. Envy not these their senses, because quicker than thine own. Learn that the advantage lieth not in possessing good things, but in the knowing to use them. Hast thou the ear of the stag, or were thy eyes as strong and piercing as the eagle? Didst thou equal the hound in smell, or could the ape resign to thee his taste, or could the tortoise her feeling? Yet without wisdom, what would they avail thee? Perish not all these like their kindred? Have any one of them the gift of speech? Can any say unto thee, therefore did I do? The lips of the wise are as the doors of a cabinet. No sooner they open, but treasures are poured out before thee. Like unto trees of gold arranged in beds of silver are wise sentences uttered in due season. Canst thou think too greatly of thy soul, or can too much be said in its praise? It is strange of him who gave it. Remember thou its dignity forever. Forget now how great a talent is committed to thy charge. Whatsoever may do good may also do harm. Beware that thou direct its course to virtue. Think not that thou canst lose her in a crowd. Suppose not that thou canst bury her in thy closet. Action is her delight, and she will not be withheld from it. Her motion is perpetual. Her attempts are universal. Her agility is not to be suppressed. Is it at the utmost parts of the earth? She will have Is it at the utmost parts of the earth? She will have it. Is it beyond the regions of the stars? Yet will her eye discover it. Inquiry is her delight. As one traverseth the burning sands in search of water, so is the soul that thirsteth after knowledge. Guard her, for she is rash. Restrain her, for she is irregular. Correct her, for she is outrageous. More supple is she than water, more flexible than wax, more yielding than air. Is there aught that can bind her? As a sword in the hand of man, even so is the soul to him who wanteth discretion. The end of her search is truth. Her means to discover it are reason and experience. But are these weak, uncertain, and fallacious? Fallacious. Yeah, fallacious. How then shall she attain unto it? General opinion is no proof of truth, for the generality of men are ignorant. Perception of thyself, the knowledge of him who created thee, the sense of worship thou owest unto him. Are these not plain before thy face? And behold, what is there more that men needed to know? And that's chapter 38, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, the Soul of Man. Because that kind of applies to a few things. Soul as in sun, since we're studying astrology. And then the
Absolutely.
whole thing about restraining her and all that. Once upon a time, I thought I lost my track with that one, and I thought he was talking about an actual woman. So yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, again, as always, we thank you, sister, for bringing us. I want to, some wise words for us to, you know, chime in on, or to,
Mm-hmm.
or to base as our foundation as we, you know, sprout
Islam.
out. Right, right. So
Islam.
thank you for that. Um, um, there are a lot of things, not a lot, but a couple observations I wanted to make. I didn't want
Please.
to. I didn't want to jump out here too fast. I tried to. I'm trying to be more mindful and listen a little bit more than not be so fast to talk. Um, but then when I do that around people that know me, it's almost like they expect me to say something. Anyway, let me get out my head.
Yeah,
Let me get
it's
out
like
my
take me in
head.
for losing.
Right. Two things.
Yes.
The word examine. You
Mm.
use that. Something to examine. Something back up in the scripture. And I thought about that in terms of how, you know, I used to be in a setting where I used to have to teach certain people. You call up people to be examined,
Mm.
and that is a very it can be humbling, but it also can be definitely vainglorious as well, because it can be ego driven as well, which kind of leads me to the next question. It talked about being wise and what the wise man does, or how we act or whatever. Do we, or are we? What do you all think? Let me say that. What do you all think about the concept? Do you call yourself like third person wise? I am a wise person, or do you just strive to be that without saying you're that? You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard people say, "I am of the righteous." Well, you know what I'm saying? I would go ahead,
Well, go
please.
ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish. Go ahead. Finish.
I would
Because you
like
might say what I
to.
was about to say.
I would like to believe that I'm fighting the good fight, but I am ever reminded of, what I'm saying? Like David says, my shortcomings are ever before my face. So
Mm.
I'm ever mindful of that. So I'm never, you know, leading a brigade of like, come on behind me and let's fight. However, you know, if it's time to stand up, I'm with those who represent, you know, the five principles, you know, Allah, all laws. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
please, help me with that. Build on that with me if y'all don't mind.
Okay. I'm watching this Chinese drama called Ashes of Love. Right. I love Chinese
Okay.
dramas because it's fairy tales that teach you political science
I
and
got
political
you.
intrigue. It's really interesting to watch, right? But
Right.
this particular one, right? So you're talking about people saying what they are, right? So in this one of the plot lines is that the the son of the emperor of heaven, because this is a fairy tale, right? So you got an emperor of heaven and empress of heaven. Their son is the god of war, right? And in
Right.
heaven, he's arrogant, he's cocky, and nobody really wants to say what they think about him because he's the god of war. But he can back it up, right? And he's not shy about telling folks, like, I can do this and I can do that. You should appoint me to this because I can do that, blah, 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 tooting his little horn. Meanwhile, he gets sent down to the demon realm once in a while just because he happens to know one of the princesses in the demon realm, right? He's like cool with her. And he gets sent down there. It's like, you know them. and they beefing again. Go be a disinterested third party and listen to him and help him settle it. You're like, all right, whatever. And he's not pushing his anything, right? Because he's just a mediator to them who happens to be royal. So, you know, it's like, well, we can both listen to you because you outrank both of us and you have no vested interest to either side, right? So we can trust what you say. He gets deposed in heaven and gets thrown down to the demon realm where he was just cool with the princess. And based on his deeds, they were like, you want to be our new emperor? We know you got the training. We know you you're the son of the emperor. You've been watching him your whole life. You want to be our emperor? So where he was bragging, nobody wanted anything to do with him because he was a braggart.
Right.
But where he just shut up and proved himself, he just got appointed what he was seeking to get, what he was striving to get in heaven. So my thing, I think that this is me personally. Let others do the bragging for you if you that dope. People who are amazing don't have to say so. Others will say it for them.
Right.
And you gotta, and then those people who talking, it's like you just looking for followers. You're obviously insecure because you're going around talking about yourself.
Yes.
So absolutely. I can see right through you. Unfortunately, most people, I don't know, they gravitate towards that stuff for some reason. Like package sellers. Yes. They advertise, right? Yes. And then after they rob folks, they go and see the guy who they heard about, but doesn't put himself out like that, there like that. Come buy something from you. No, you just know his reputation, So that's my take on it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah.
I hope that made sense.
Perfect sense. I've never been big on that. I've never been, when I was younger and we played ball, yes. Definitely playing basketball, playing football, any sport. Any sport,
oh, no,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a little different. That's competition.
Right.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody knows everybody knows you're there to compete.
That's what I'm saying. But in a real sense, I don't like. I should say I don't really care for people who do that. Like it's me and God over here, and y'all over there. Nah, I don't really like that. I don't really care for that. So that's one of the things that stood out to me. And also in terms of examining, that goes into how we deal with our brothers that, like we've talked about before, who do those questionable things. And it's like, is it our place to check them? Or do we just let the universe catch up with them?
We've been trying to check them.
Okay.
It's funny this is coming up because I was just listening to one of Cujo's lives, and some more victims of a specific package seller, Cam Ray L. I will call his name. In Canaan land, he got some more people. When I was brought into this earlier in the year, it was for 10,000. Now apparently it's somebody else for 20,000, and I'm just like, I give up. I released this because after I heard about the 10,000, I went on a campaign. Like, okay, turns out Cujo been talking about this dude. I found out about him in, I think, 2014 because he stole my logo and he's now using this to steal from other people, right? And I let it go. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna move on. Whatever. I can prove it's mine. But so he's using this logo to rob people, and I got a hold of the audio, the video, the written version, and put up a whole blog about this guy. Went in graphics, everything. You can see it, thepurplepaperclip.com. The title of the article is Dirty Moor Robs Widows and Orphans. Because that's what single mothers in Islam are widows, and their children are considered orphans. So he's robbing widows and orphans. using something he stole from a widow, right?
That's an abomination
like
right there.
I wrote up a whole freaking blog. I bought a site to do this. I didn't need to do this, right? But I was like, man, I want to get into the news part, and this came up, right? Perfect timing. And I'm like, I'm gonna take Cujo's stuff and make it searchable, because sometimes you know how it's audio from a video, so you can't, if you type in a name or something, if it's just mentioned in a video, it's probably not gonna come up. But if it's written in a blog, yes, it's going to come up, right? Because it's written down somewhere. And I know how to do this from this book called Pimp My Site, right? Where they're talking about how to make stuff searchable, and it works.
Okay.
And this was back in, I want to say March, May, June, March, April, May, somewhere around there. Might have been around May, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And people were getting in touch with me. Thank you for letting me know, because I searched for his name before I went. You know, I found his website, and then I searched his name and found your article. Cool, it's working. And now, fast forward 6 months, $20,000. So, you didn't miss the article, the video, and the numerous posts all over the place. Google sites, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere that's searchable that Google can reach, talking about this dude stole something from $10,000 from somebody this year. We haven't made it to the end of the year, and now he's got somebody for $20,000. I'm just like, really? And what? I know you didn't give him $20,000 up front all at once. That had to be in like installments. At what point did you say, I might want to reach out to somebody and ask some more questions? Because apparently he ain't giving them nothing. So I'm just like, forget it. Oh, to bring that up. No, I'm not gonna bring that up. But go ahead. Because I don't know the details of it, so I can't bring it up. But yeah. Yeah, it's infuriating. You try, but it's just like, how much can you try? What's the point of writing another blog? Oh, he got somebody else. I guess the first one didn't do it, you know, for them, I guess. And then coming to the person for help that taught this guy pretty much everything he knows about the Moors, put him onto the Moors. And he's like expecting him to help you for free. Your student got me for $20,000. Can help you for free? Your student got me for $20,000. Can you help me for free? I can't help you. $20,000. No, you know, you're gonna need some Medicare for what you got. For real.
It's, you know, it can be disheartening if you did not come into the knowledge of yourself and your nation through a temple. When you learn it and you're seeking something, and the temples that are in your area are just not whatever, okay? So to search and search and search, and then to find a group of Moors and then say, you know, lend me your ear, my fellows, you know, can you break me off with some wisdom on how to just keep studying? Just keep studying, you know, just keep studying. And that is good.
Folks don't want to do that. They want to pay for the quick fix. And that's why they keep getting
Some people don't. Some people
they're exploiting people's laziness. I didn't have no temple.
See,
right? By the time I got to a temple, I already had my medallion.
Okay, now.
Yeah. Sent to me by a Moor who was watching me. Just showed up one day.
I still haven't seen one as of yet. I still haven't seen a temple. I still haven't seen one other than standing like outside the building, whatever that type. Nah. In my whole area, there's none here that I know about.
Maybe that's why you're there.
So,
for real.
Yes, and so it's interesting. Let me say it this way: it can be disheartening for people who don't mind the studying. That was nothing. That's my well, I don't say that. My mind is built for that. I don't mind that. Just don't kick me in the gut or punch me in the gut with the yeah, just keep studying. And they're just like it'll fall in place. Now some people they want you to do it themselves. They really want you to like just, you know, hold my hand or just show me everything.
Right.
Not that. Not that. I don't want you to trace what I'm doing because everybody's road to get where you need to go may not be the same.
Exactly. Which is why you got to study, because I don't know what you need to know.
Right.
Because I can't walk your path for you. I can tell you what I know, and you're going to be, I don't know, as long as however long I'm talking to you, that's how far behind you're going to be on your path.
Right.
So study. That I think that's really why they tell them. It's like, okay, I need a master teacher. Who was the master teacher's master teacher? He probably couldn't find one, so he became his own, right?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say, right? You are the master teacher.
I mean, I'm going off the teachings that's like readily available. How Noble Drew Ali said he came and removed all the excuses. He's not even letting his mama get past. All right. Yeah. I was raised by a Marine, so I kind of like that stuff, right? The tough love, right?
Nobody play with.
I can appreciate it, right? So my thing is, that's what we've been commanded to do. Study, study, study. Okay, you found out about the Moors. There's certain things I know you know if you're seeking help from other Moors. You hear Moors say all the time, study, 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 study. Have you looked up where that's coming from? It's not like it's hard to find. Just Google it. It'll come up. You probably have been through the 101s in the Quran, at least, because that's all over the internet. I'm not even saying buy nothing. You don't have to go to anybody to get this stuff. It's freely available for people who really are sincere about, helping themselves. I guess folks are like, I'm domesticated, lazy. I don't know. I don't understand it. I really don't. And I'm not going to hold people accountable for what I don't understand. Right. So,
true. Yes.
We supposed to be like a race of scholars, right? Our sultans used to compete with each other to collect scholars. Like they were the original patrons. Like I got 25 astrologers and 15 physicists, that kind of stuff. Well, I got navigators. We just discovered a new. That's how they were competing with each other. And you want me to show you something? I don't know. Study, study, study. RB Bay. RB Bay Publications. And I mean, if people, I'm for real. If people actually did that, it can't be that easy. Yeah, it is. It really is. If you just like read the first page, it'll probably answer maybe I'll say 30% of your questions, because they'll show you where else to click to answer the rest of them. Right? Well, I mean, that's like it's like you can't make it any easier unless you actually do it for them, which is what they're paying for, and getting robbed, and then coming to the people who study asking for help. I don't have no sympathy for them. Excuse me, because I mean, I guess I know you'll live. I get it, I'm still here. I'm still learning. I want to learn more. I'm learning how to write grants. I think I told y'all I'm always learning, just because I know that's what we're supposed to do as Aliites. Those who follow Noble Drew Ali. I mean, that's a real book. A European, I guess he looks European. He wrote a book about the Aliites. That's what it's called, the Aliites. And I got sent an excerpt in it because I was mentioned, and I was like, wow, he kind of gets it, talking about how the Moorish women scholarship is actually respected. And I'm like, why is that surprising? And he goes on, because it's not in most societies. Oh, okay. Right. Like, oh, okay, yeah. And then he was talking about the editor's note I put in most of my books. To now, okay, before you even start reading this book, you need a Bible, you need a Quran, you need a law dictionary, and if you're really serious,
You
a concordance. That's in the introduction. He mentions that, like, yeah, because we're a race of scholars. we, bringing your civilization, that kind of stuff. You're supposed to be studying non-stop.
But that is not the reality. That is not the reality.
That ain't my fault. Hey, I'm gonna save a handful with fingers left over, right? You're right. You're right. Not for the weak. Do you want to be surrounded by weaklings constantly asking you to do stuff for them? Because they don't feel like going and Google. I'm sorry, it cannot get any easier. Even though I'm like, okay, don't trust it, but it's a start.
I mean, I'm one of those people that if you ask me something, I'm not going to necessarily give you a direct answer. I'm going to paint a picture.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an analogy. And in essence, I'm going to let you make the choice of what you inevitably have asked me. You want this, so what should I do? I'm going to say, here's a picture. I'm going to tell you an analogy. And at the end of it, you're still going to have to make the choice, especially if I can sense that you really want somebody to blame if it doesn't go right.
Right.
So I need the onus to always be back on you. So don't you make the choice. Remember when you came last time and I said, thus and so, or thus and so. You remember that? I mean, this happens all the time.
And you do this for free? I'm asking because these moms out here getting $20,000 for this, and they not telling. Here, fill this out. Here go some crap that I can't say I even got right, and they doing it.
I can't do my people like that.
And then on top of that, you talking about you gonna sit there and tell them a story. Guess what I watched last night? Had to do it. Wild Wild Country. Oh my God. He was getting paid for sitting there talking to people. Oh, you want to talk to me? Pay me.
What's Wild Wild Country? I've never heard of that.
I watched it. It was so believable because people just want to be told what to do. I'll tell you what to do. Pay me. Or go study. Because I was just watching it. It's like this is just a whole bunch of people that, you all had Lupes and mammies growing up. Everything was taken care of. You got disillusioned. You don't know what to do with yourself. And instead of going within, you going to this dude, flying all the way to India for him to tell you what to do. Like, okay. And then he was
jump around.
I'm like, this can't be real. He got them like jumping up and down, holding their breath. I'm like, he's trying to make you dizzy. This the same thing. What's his name? Hitler used to do to his audience. Used to hold his meetings late at night when he knew you were tired and confused and couldn't think straight. And this dude got you spinning in circles before he imparts some wisdom. Like, all right. Okay. And he made you pay for it too. And I'm sorry, maybe that's changed my attitude because this ain't fair. This really isn't fair. How scammers are stealing the information that the sincere have been sitting down and giving away for free for a decade now, over a decade, right? And people are still going to the scammers, even though the sincere are and the sincere they get tired of it. You come to me. How did you find him first? And you paid him what he demanded, and you think I can fix your problem. You're not even offering any kind of donation. Let me play checkers with your child online and keep him busy while you do it. Nothing. And I'm tired of it. So after watching that last night, and he said it. I love how he said it. I'm sick of this idea of people thinking spirituality is equated with poverty. He was absolutely right. Islam teaches commerce is Allah's way of showing how much he thinks of you. So if you're successful in the marketplace, you're favored. Get it? I got to find that passage. I used to listen to the Quran like every day on audio tape. And I remember that part really stuck out. Right? So it's like, what is this poor righteous teacher thing? Enough. Nobody thinks that but us. All right. Thank you for that suggestion, Sarush. For real. Changed my life. like, how can I be down? Because, I mean, they were paying for his time. He can't get that back. Might as well buy him a nice car, you know?
Yeah.
Even though, whatever. It's like, I don't need all that. I don't know what his thing was. Actually, I looked up his, that Sheila chick, and I'm like, yup, Capricorn.
She's a Capricorn?
She's a Capricorn. What did she say?
Makes
I don't,
mad sense.
meditation ain't my cup of tea. I like working. Capricorn. Because I'm just like, this woman is relentless. She's just vicious. Let me look her up. Yep. She would do anything to get to the top. And her downfall was spectacular and all over the place for the whole world to see. They even made a documentary about it.
I just love how at the end, did you watch the whole thing?
No, I had to stop because I was
like,
no, we doing it wrong. I gotta digest what I've already taken in. We'll go back
she did time, and when she got out, she just stayed like in Switzerland, and she just take care of the elderly now. You know what I mean? So
right?
it's like the
Capricorn rules old people. Capricorn rules old people. Saturn
does it?
Saturn rules old people. Wow. Father time is Saturn.
True. Yep. I could see it.
That's cool. What? See? Oh, yeah. Yep. That's funny.
And I like how he went on, you know, because out of all of the madness that happened, he did stop speaking. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, and that's where the downfall happened, when he stopped talking. Because it was like he didn't even care about the money or anything. He was just showing up, you know. I mean, I can't speak for him to tell him, like, I don't know what he cared about. You know what I mean? But
I think it was smart, because it's just like, how well were you all listening, right? As a mother, I've had 4 children, and I can't tell you how much I look forward to their independence, right? So please prove to me how well you were listening to what I was imparting to you over however long he was with them, because they were out there for some years, right? And he should have been like, I'm a bag up and take a vacation. You know, it's like if mom leaves the room, the whole house gonna fall apart just because I left the room. Y'all weren't listening,
right?
You know,
right.
Which does happen. You turn around, everything just falls apart. What is that? Oh my God! I remember I turned around once and I heard a scream behind me, and you know those shopping carts they lend out to you when you break your leg or something.
Yeah.
One of them was parked on top of my child. I just turned. I was looking at him. He was fine. I turned around, heard a scream, looked back. He had one of those things parked right on top of him. Like, okay, where did this even come from? Like, okay. Yeah, I love my life.
That's wild.
So yeah, I don't feel bad for those folks. They were just trying to throw money at the problem. I'll just keep paying you to do this. Just keep talking to me. You know, programming. Right. But I mean, supposedly that was part of the quote unquote American experiment. How the folks that's escaping to the land of freedom, right? And they're people that's so-called letting them go. They're letting them go like they're possessions. Like, you know, kings and queens actually think the people on the land that they've controlled belong to them. So they like, yeah, go over there. Go on over there and see for yourself that you actually do want a king. You do want to be ruled. You do want to be told what to do for every single aspect of your life. And are people not proving this? You know, they were absolutely right.
Like with every opportunity that they're given for freedom.
Right. You have a choice. The devil will always give you a choice. He can't make you do anything. He can only suggest. I look at Trump, how he just suggested a whole bunch of stuff. Right. Even when you knew he was lying, it was like, well, I think I'm gonna do it anyway, because he said it, so I'm gonna do it, even though I know he's lying. Yeah, because you want a king. And his chart was perfect for it. You know? That dude's chart
suggestion
is very powerful. Huh?
Suggestion. I'm sorry, I'm trying to cut you off, not at all.
Oh no, go ahead.
The suggestion is very powerful. It has a lot to do with the creative side of things. Any creator knows the power of suggestion, because in your art is laced with it, it's riddled with it, because it's imparted in layers, and you're amazed by the people who catch the layers. You said this, but I can see,
Right.
he really was this, or he really was saying that. You follow what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
suggestion that when you said that's how, the opposing force can work, I can see that. It's a suggestion. Yes,
Because
yes,
that
I
was
can.
the deal after Job, right? Can't put his hands on us anymore.
Right, right, right,
So,
right. Very powerful
and is the
story.
suggestion powerful or the listener weak?
Repeat. Say it one more time.
Is the suggestion powerful, or is the person listening to it weak? I don't care how creative it is.
What the
Like,
scripture say?
I mean, some stuff, it's like it's written on your heart, especially when it comes to our people. You know better. That tug. I'm not saying this is for everybody, because in the end times our Lord's evil spirits and allow them to incarnate. I'm aware of that. But then you got those ones that be like, they hesitate.
Right.
You know better.
I think that, what the scripture say, we're only tempted when we're drawn by our own lust. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? If I don't want that, I don't want that. You follow what I'm saying? You can't.
Especially if you are as prey.
Right.
What are you doing?
Exactly. But I don't know if we ever see if we saw destruction coming, will we always turn away from it? If you knew if I make this decision right here, this could be the end of it. Because I know I have friends of mine who seemingly they don't pick up. I'm not going. Neither of you are water signs, but something about certain water signs, unless it's something clandestine and mysterious, they don't want to deal with it. I'm not really interested if it doesn't have an edge to it.
Yeah, I get you.
Does that make
a
sense?
sign thing, or is that a guy thing?
To me,
I noticed guys tend to think about it after the fact.
To me,
like, I shouldn't have done that as he's falling off the something. Huh?
For me, it's definitely it's more water, and it's been feminine.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But definitely, but more water, because I can see it. It's like you don't really get up for it. It doesn't really excite you. It doesn't really move you until it has this is a nice guy right here. He really likes you. You stand in the third. I'm making it mundane. Forgive me, but he really likes you.
No, it's fine.
You stand in the third. He's boring. But see, I'm telling you who I really like. Who? Dave. You talking about Jamie's boyfriend?
Oh.
Yeah, like him.
Oh, wow.
Like he has
that kind of.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, and I got something right next to me that could be mine, but that right there really, like,
Well, I got that. I've had somebody say that to me. Well, I got you. Bye.
See what I'm saying?
You had me.
What did the comedian say? The comedian said that because Chris Rock said that. Forgive me for using him, but it makes sense. He said when a guy sees a brother with somebody that he likes or somebody he's in love with, the brother start thinking, you know what? I'm gonna find me a girl like he is. I'm gonna find me a girl that I can love like he loves her. They kind of vibe. They finish each other's sentences and all the little goofy little lovey-dovey stuff. Yeah. He said, but a lot of times some women look and say, no, I don't want a guy like him. I want him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Which is kind of like that. So to me, I'm always drawn to, well, why, if it's something right next to you, that it's not right unless it's like I'm taking that from that person, or I have to be sneaky in order to. Does that make sense? You
It
follow what I'm
does.
saying?
I mean, I've
Okay.
been witness to it. And I mean, at least from the female side, they do it
Yeah.
because they're unhappy and they don't, I mean, a few reasons. They're unhappy and don't want nobody else to be happy. They're lazy and he's been vetted. Oh, he must have something going for him if she wants him. Get it? Rather than getting to know somebody. Oh, she already got to know him. And some chicks are freaky like that, right? When I was in LA,
Did you
it's the
say
weirdest
lazy?
thing.
Did you say lazy, Zara?
Lazy. Yes.
What?
I don't feel
Okay,
like getting to
build on
know
that.
him.
Build on
I
that
don't
for
feel
a
like
second.
getting to know somebody. So I will try to steal somebody that's in a relationship because somebody approves of him. Which is why don't nobody really want nothing to do with you when you're single. Soon as somebody vets
Okay.
you, here come everybody. Right.
Come
And
on
then of
now.
course you putting off all this good energy on top of it. That's not helping.
Right.
You know. So yeah, they're lazy because like, thanks for doing all the work. I'll take it from here. How many women do that? Like they'll swoop in, some dude been with a woman for like 6-7 years, swoop in, take that dude and marry him in 6 months. Because she sees this woman has created a husband. She just don't know how to get him to marry her. I do. Now that she's got him to that point, you know, I'll figure out the rest. You know. But those marriages don't usually last, you know.
That's
From
weak.
my observation, you know, from what I've seen.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I think yes, I appreciate that. Wow.
Yeah, because that's really messed up. You stepping in some two people. Because I see a relationship as a third entity, right? So when people break up, it kind of breaks my heart. It makes me it really does. It ain't got nothing to do with me, but it's like a divorce. Oh, I feel like something died, and you doing that on purpose. And as hard as it is for people to find somebody that's compatible, let alone somebody that they actually feel strongly about, and that person feels the same way about them, and you trying to influence something, get between something, and you know better. You know.
Let you allow me, if I may, allow your brother to tell you that when I went to sign those papers for the last time to finalize my divorce, I was extremely, extremely, extremely happy. And yes, I married. I don't know if I ever shared that with you all. I married a Capricorn,
Ooh.
and yeah, I mean that's about it.
Okay.
I tell people all the time they love to talk about Cookie and Magic and Obama and Michelle. And I was like, you don't know what that man deals with behind him.
Right.
You make me sick. I'm
It's
so sick of you
crazy. I mean,
with
I've
that
never met
Zodiac
a
stuff.
Capricorn woman, but that scene, I don't know if I've met one, but the concept of one kind of scares me.
Listen,
You know, just because it's the opposite of the moon and you're a woman.
Come on now. That's what it does to the sun.
I don't know. You know, it's maybe I have, but it's just like, I don't know. You know, if I did, she ain't gonna tell me because they're not into this kind of stuff. You know.
But yes, but something did die. I will say that once when you walk out of there, you feel there is a break.
Yeah,
and you recognize
that
although
that
although this is a government sanction, but for you to have finally broke that, you can more than just feel it in the eat. There's just something in you that feels like, yeah, that's really over now.
Yeah.
You catch it, but if it was bad, it was bad.
Yeah, it's
You
bad.
know,
It's sick. It gotta die. Yeah, that's not a tragedy.
So
that's a relief. You know.
But to do it again, I don't. I'm not getting into that. That's
Please. Let's not.
It's a beautiful there's nothing more beautiful than finding somebody to share your life with, but it's nothing to play with. It's not this, I watch, you know, my guilty pleasure when I'm not studying or in class or writing or doing something is we watch a lot of like relationship shows. Um, because they have a lot of stories. Don't judge me. And I'm sitting there watching these people who, you know, there's one show called Married at First Sight. Like these people really just they literally marry a person. They get handpicked, and the people they get married and try to have a life together. And their concept of what marriage should be and what a relationship would be is so twisted that I see why some of them in their 20s and 30s and some of them early 40s and never had successful relationships. Like people don't like they don't have a real concept of this is how you do this. And so they come in with like, well, this is how I saw it, and you know, this person was in my life, wasn't in my life. It's very disheartening, especially when it comes to us, especially us. It's very disheartening because we got a whole lot of emotion and ego and pride out front, and nobody's listening, and nobody studies anything. Nobody opens a book. You know, yes. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet. I said
No,
I'm gonna
no,
listen.
go ahead, keep going, keep going.
Nah.
Because I'm wondering if that has a lot to do with it. People are selfish, and relationships, seventh house, other, right?
Yes,
And
yeah.
they're
I
just
mean,
too busy about what can I get out of this instead of what I can put into this, And then you got the ones that go too far the other side. They're all codependent and whatnot.
it's
You
too
know,
much.
yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. You want to apply the rules too much. You want to right off the break. You need to know everything about the person. I need to know everything. Because
Insecure.
a
I got to know
a
everything
dude,
because mystery scares me.
yeah,
It's like people
listen.
who have storage, or what is that, storage areas. Like you don't want to throw
Uh-huh.
away nothing because you don't trust God. You don't
Right,
trust He'll provide
right.
it if you need it again.
One
Because I've
thing
lived with
got you.
European. I had the unfortunate experience of living with a hoarder, a European chick who was a hoarder. And I mean, it's like, why you carrying around a cable you had when you were 5 years old and you 30? Why? And she's like, I'm not that bad. My mom, she got canals in her. You think that's okay?
That's
That you're
crazy.
just this bad, right? But
Right.
so I need to control this because I don't have no faith, you know. And that's why you're alone, because you're not
Control is
willing to just let
crazy.
stuff work out. You got to have it on
Right.
your, selfish.
That's it.
Because
That's
it's like you
the
do know
bottom
there's
line.
another person involved in this, right? And they're
Yeah.
not just going to show up the way you want them. You got to figure out who they are or not and do their chart. Y'all do each other's chart.
Right. Right.
That cuts,
Nope.
that cut through and save a lot of time. Like, ooh, your sun square my moon. We're going to have to talk later.
Right. Right.
That kind of thing.
I have a brother of mine who is Leo, moon sign, Sag, Scorpio, cusp. And it's like he sits right on the line, moon, and he's a Gemini Venus with a Sagittarius rising. And
What did you say his son? What his son does?
Leo.
Okay, Leo.
But
Okay.
he's like July 24th. He's like
Okay.
right there, he's like I'm right there on the other end of August. And we've been best friends for years, since we went to seminary years ago. And we both kind of got married the first time at the same time, and both got
How old
divorced,
were you?
right about the same time. Huh?
How old were you? Or how young were you?
When we got married,
Yeah,
divorced.
married.
27, 26, 26.
Okay.
Yeah, 26. And he is in a position now where his wife is they didn't really work. Actually, usually the worst situation I was, but they had kids. They had babies. He is in a position now where he is, very prominent. He does very well for himself, and he's single, and he went through a lot in his first, in his marriage that failed. And I lie to you not. I tell him all the time. I said, man, you are in a very privileged position because you are a man who has children who are grown and gone, and you don't have a woman for the women that can deal with you to say like, well, you're with her. So, don't try to talk to me or don't do it because you're with her. You're free. You don't have any attachments whatsoever. And so women come at him and it's like one thing a guy can smell a mile away is a woman who wants to get married. It's
Hey, how does that smell? So I need to change my perfume. For real.
Listen, you can.
Like, I ain't setting myself up.
It is in the conversation. It's in every question. It's almost like you trying to box a person in the corner. You can
so
see it
coming right out and saying, "Let's get married," don't help, huh?
This it can really be that bad. And so that's the scary part. So when I'm watching these shows, these friends that I have, these stories that I have, like when you read the book and you was like, "There's no way." Like, where did you come up with this stuff from? Like, there's no way this is your life. Yes, most of that's real. 80% of that is real. That's real.
I'm like, he can't even. I was like,
it's just a mock.
He like on some PCP or something coming up with this stuff. Because if this is his life, that's actually worse.
Nah. That's a mosh posh of the. That's like a couple, scoops of creamer of all the stories that I have in my head that I've gotten from people that I've heard just listening, and yes, it's crazy, but it's real.
Yeah,
and
crazy
it's
the word
scary
for
because these women want marriage. Some of them want marriage, like some men don't want to be married.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna shut up.
No, that makes sense.
Maybe Sharush wants to say something. Maybe he wants to.
I'm one of those Pluto and Scorpio generations, so we don't. I'm not thinking about marriage, or I'm not thinking about anything like that. Like, I think that is limiting. You know what I'm saying? I think the words are limiting. I think that's like,
they coming after the Libra, where relationships were transformed. Now we get to see, okay, what happens after you transform it. They don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like,
wow.
And I don't blame them because I saw it fall apart, right? Because our generation saw it fall apart. So his generation, he ain't even that much younger than us, right? But his generation is like, well, y'all just came into it not wanting to be bothered.
It don't work.
That's deep right there. Like, wow. Like,
I mean, I'll be honest. I took my shahada when I was 18, right? And like I said, they automatically was like, yo, you could have 4 wives, and if you work really hard, you know what I'm saying, the sooner the better. And for me, it was like to keep me out of trouble and to keep me from doing things and dealing with people and women that I wouldn't have had to deal with, and I wouldn't have gone through a lot of things that I went through, just being in that environment, you know what I'm saying? And having things like prescribed, basically, like just laid for me, like, but like, even in that, I was just like, it's just too, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, structured, it was too structured for me. And I needed more freedom still, even with like the idea of, oh, you 4 wives, how much more freedom do you want or need? And I'm like, I don't know, but like that's still too structured and it's still
That's
too
not freedom. That's some extreme liberation or
right.
limitation. Limitation. Because it's like one wife is on your back, three more on top of that. I'm not sure what they saying. Oh, that was supposed to be like the promotional point. Oh, you get some women. Why do they keep doing that stuff? It's like, come on, stop assuming everybody's lustful. Like that person just told you what's on their mind. You know, you can have some women, right? I actually came for the teachings, but thanks, you know.
Right.
Wow, that's messed up. Especially when you consider the longest chapter in the Quran is called women, right?
Right.
And look, whatever. And that's man.
Exactly what I was like, you know, I'm good on that whole thing. And for real, like, you know, I always, you know, was like communicative or, you know, growing up, I was always having technology. I always had a phone. So I always had like, you know, women's numbers, girls' numbers, texting, calling, or something, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, just being communicative and being mad, like open like that, just always seemed more natural to me. You know what I mean? And it's wild. It's like, then it's like, oh, you're a part of a generation that, you know, that's how y'all are. It's like, oh, okay. Not to say that, like, I don't know, like, I don't put a right or wrong on it. It's nature. That's what nature did. Like, we came Pluto and Saturn, and that's the energy of
That's
it.
what
So,
happened. Hey, yep.
yeah, like,
Don't hurt yourself by trying to go against it. Yes, you have free will, but you also have freedom to suffer.
facts.
For real.
And you
There's
hear the freedom.
balance,
You
you
hear
know
the
what I'm
freedom in
saying?
your voice.
Discernment,
Right.
you know.
And who's to say really that the way it's set up now is how it's supposed to be? Because
Right.
what's that book? I think it's Great Cosmic Mother. Oh my God, I cannot remember. Where they were talking about community marriages. I'm not into this, you know, because these days and times it's just too dangerous. But I mean, I just brought that out just to be like, well, that's what was the norm back then. That's what normal looked like, you know, where it was just like, no, the children are just here and everybody takes care of them. That's it. And everybody just do their own little thing with whoever. But that was back before the days of, you know, Uber cooties. You know. So yeah, maybe now we not maybe we are supposed to be transforming it into something else. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. You know, I'm just waiting to see, unless I missed it already, the first Instagram wedding. You know,
The first what?
Instagram wedding. You know, it's
Okay.
coming if it hasn't happened already.
Right.
Gotta say the Zoom weddings during quarantine.
Wow, that's close enough. That's messed up.
I
Yeah, a lot
mean,
of wedding planners made a whole big thing out of it, of like pushing the
Oh wait, the
technology.
bride and groom are together though, right?
Bride and groom.
No, I'm talking
together.
about Instagram wedding as in the bride is somewhere and the groom is somewhere else.
Oh, that would be wow.
You know it's
Yeah,
coming if
that's
it hasn't
real age
happened yet.
hilarious.
Because I mean, wedding by proxy is a thing, you know. So,
Wow, yeah, that's an idea.
yup.
Wow.
it can't be a
Especially
beautiful
now, you
thing.
know, Mark got to do something with this whole meta thing.
I was gonna say like that takes the whole like the male bride thing to the whole like, you know, to the whole next level.
DM of a proposal. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's coming. Because I mean, it's right. Taurus just surprised us this week, right?
Oh nah, but we are married. Like wow. Like what she's gonna like sign like the joint and then fax it, or like is it like NFT?
You thinking about it?
NFT weddings.
Dude, working out the logistics. That's what's up. What's up? For real. We got to patent that because who was that said that? Phil Valentine. Every time Moore says something, every time a Moore open his mouth, gold falls out.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah,
I
just
mean,
be
all
ready. You know, we
contracts are
about to
going to
see it now.
NFTs anyway, though.
Huh?
All contracts are going to NFTs anyway, though. So that have to
Yep.
they will have to apply that to the marriage license.
Yep. I mean, hey, they taking electronic signatures on everything, so why not? It's just as fraud as everything else. No? A marriage license. Okay.
Right.
Why not? Why
Electronic
not? I'm just
signature.
wondering how you gonna consummate it. It's like, how does that work?
Man, that's next level.
What's that? Instagram wedding?
Electronic signatures on the Instagram wedding marriage license.
Right? Why
Like,
not? Dude got a lot,
You
you
all
know,
don't
money
get
in his own country, right?
the spirit is
man.
it's desperation out here. Y'all don't get it's desperation out here. It's I see them. They want it bad. They want husbands bad.
Oh, I thought you were talking about everybody desperate.
I'm saying like this. Is he breathing? Is he breathing? Is he breathing?
Man.
Just hold on to him. You know what I'm saying? Just,
Man.
you know.
And then on the other side, Moors complaining they can't find wives.
See, nah.
Well, because they don't
I'm
want to, they don't want to
take the
marry
lead.
non-Moors, and you know these black women ain't helping the situation at all. So
It's rough.
you said it's rough.
It's rough.
I bet. I mean, I talk to these sisters, and it's just like, ooh, I am so glad I'm not a guy. You know.
Wow. See,
Because I mean, the fact that guys tell me, "Oh, you actually know how to hold a conversation," oh, I'm like, I hear that so much, and I'm not blaming them. You know, it's like I know what y'all dealing with out here.
Yeah.
They on survival mode, but you know,
Yeah.
they really are. It's like I would
Yeah.
change, but I got to do this first, and it's always something else to put in front of that. You know.
Very powerful sisters are. I'm
Oh
just
wow.
I'm grateful that I don't know, like the energy, like energetically me finding y'all doing this. I'm just
right.
grateful. You know what I'm
I've been
saying?
wondering how
Absolutely,
that
Because
brother.
happened. Like, how did this
Absolutely, brother.
happen?
it's just so
Absolutely,
I
brother.
was just
powerful
thinking
you
about that
saying
the
these
other
things.
day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He just
Absolutely.
wandered in. He just gravitated like, yes, it's divine. The power is divine. I love it.
While he was saying that in my mind's eye, I was literally seeing us sitting down someplace like in a foyer of like a hotel or something and meeting each other for the first time. Like
Was
why he was saying that. So it's crazy that he was thinking it like I'm just thankful. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that, you know what I'm saying, that we met. Absolutely. Like it's I didn't even know what this app was. I didn't but it's to be here now it's awesome for real.
Yes,
Yeah,
therapeutic, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean,
for real.
just like I mean, to be honest, like your vibe, is your your intellectual level. You read, you're creative.
Yeah, yeah,
You're artist. You write.
yeah.
So like, there's just all of the qualities. And it's wild because like you just said, like how Moors don't want to date or marry non-Moors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Because you're
that's
looking for
why.
somebody like me. But
Yeah, like or like us even. Like we
yeah,
like
I
to
get it.
read.
I get
You know
it.
what I mean?
And thank you for saying that because you just put out the call. I'm telling you, it's like in temples in our saving this movement, the brothers outnumber the sisters. Like it's the opposite. So in the black community, it's all these single sisters and can't get a brother. It's the opposite with the Moors. And you all are saying this is what we're looking for. So it's just like good. It's good that you say it out loud because then, it's probably some women considering doing that, but society has taught them, oh, I got to be quiet or meek, or I got to be tough and I got to do me and all this stuff. But really inside, I want to be weak. I want him to teach me things. I want him to suggest books, but I don't know how that's going to look to somebody, that kind of thing.
Right.
Me, I think, I don't have any, I'm like in the middle of nowhere. And this is in my chart too. I spend so much time in exile, like isolation. So I don't interact with women that much. And I do interact with guys a lot. But because they're looking for a sister, not like a wife type of sister, just a sister, like that
Facts.
woman that she can bring that feminine perspective into it, and you don't have to be explaining everything to her because she's at least there. You got at least
Right,
some
right.
common ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like y'all asking for geniuses. It's like, okay, could you stop calling yourself black? you know
Yeah.
that that's like 80% right there, because if you can stop doing that, man, the possibilities, if you know you're a Moor and you know you're like straight up superwoman, and this brother wants to bring that out of you, I mean, for real, I know what I did for myself, but like I said a few weeks ago, Moors put stuff in my head, right? So if y'all appreciate it, thank you. And
Absolutely.
sisters, please get on this, because these I said it before, these brothers about to become a commodity. They really are. Y'all are. You really are. Because me and my son were discussing that today about the 144,000 that's supposed to be saved. And I'm like, well, if I understand correctly, that's 144,000 men and whoever they're responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it's not going to be the people that's been enjoying their time on earth that's going to be counted among those 144,000. It's the ones that suffered and still, praise the Lord,
Yeah.
So, and that's us. And, even to an extent, the Hebrew Israelites or anybody else, like, really keeping the faith alive on this planet, because it's getting so dark. But, yeah, sisters need to get on this for real. For real. Unless y'all want to go back to the days of the harems, and that's how all this stuff fell apart in the first place. I wonder if that's where the harems came from. Sisters are giving brothers too hard a time.
I think maybe, but I do know this from personal experience. If you find the right woman, and she's been brought up a certain way, and she trusts you,
Mm-hmm.
and she could be taught, as well as to being able to teach you some things as well, then it's nothing a woman will not do. You know what I'm saying? For you. I've seen that for real. I've probably seen both sides of it in my short life. But yeah, I think that women are amazing. Once you put your mind set on something, and I'm biased because I've dated a lot of Geminis, and my mother's a Gemini, and my current, my wife, current, Lord have mercy, I get killed for that. But my wife was a Gemini.
Your wife.
She, right, you know what I'm saying? I get killed for that.
Right.
But,
put some respect on
but
it.
I've always said that when a Gemini woman gets her mind wrapped around something, then she can be whatever type of woman you need her to be. She's like, she can cover the gamut better than any of the 12 and the around the zodiac. She can play as many roles as you need when she gets her mind wrapped around it. Now, you're not gonna make her do anything, but she is the across the board. Whatever you need a woman to be, she can be that. She can be that. You know what I'm saying? And they're not the only ones. I've met a lot of Aries women. They're not as not as swift to teach, but trusting. I'm saying if a woman trusts you,
yeah, that's big. But I mean, these women are damaged. I'm not making excuses for them, but it's just like,
you just say the D word.
I don't know how much men lie to women. I know how much they've lied to me, but I can see right through it, because I hang out. I have like a lot of masculine energy, and I have a lot of guy friends who warn me about stuff, or had, not anymore. They used to warn me about stuff, right? So I would just be able to be like, the whole Gemini thing, like, "Ha, you lying," and this is where I caught you right here, right? And but women, like especially like in the church, um, you got those women who did everything right. You know, she saved herself from marriage, married somebody from a good family from her church, blah blah blah, and dude marries her. You know,
Come on.
has a couple of children, and then runs out and cheats on her. You know, either
Right.
with a man or a woman.
Right.
And she hurt. So she's like, well, you know, I don't believe God. He had to blah blah blah. And so she goes out and tries again, does this everything right again, and gets scammed again. I've actually met a woman who she wasn't a virgin, and the guy, she's just like, I'm not taking it. I already have one child, and I don't want to get stuck with another child without being married. So she was just like, no. And it took 12 years, right? And this guy was chasing her for like 8 of these 12 years, right? And she finally married him, goes off to Vegas with this dude, and, you know, whatever, does their business. He's like, I got to go back to the wherever and take care of some business. She never hears from him again because turns out he was married. And the person that he got out of it because the person who officiated the wedding was one of his friends who wasn't permitted to officiate. So the license was void. So he didn't commit bigamy. 8 years. Now she's damaged, right? So to get her to trust, you can't just talk to this woman. You just gonna have to demonstrate.
Nah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
all.
Because
That's all.
we're on survival mode right now. We, the ones who know what's going on, is like, yeah, we're keeping the nation together because we're trying to keep the children okay and try to help our brothers who we know are targets right now, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you can't talk to her. You have to just show and prove, demonstrate, right? And then she'll ask you, oh, what's that book you reading? That kind of thing. Because it can be done. My mother came out the church. My father, I don't know. I don't know if he came out the church, but I know my mother did, right? Because her family was still big into Christianity. And my father got her into the mosque. He brought her in. This is a Leo.
Yes. He
And he didn't
did
do it
something.
by talking to her. She
Right.
just liked what she saw. He was
Yep.
upright. You know, people came to him, asked for advice. You know, he's pretty good looking, you know, that kind of stuff. And she just started watching him, knowing, and she didn't know the whole time that he was watching her. That's why he was doing this stuff in front of her. Because he knew he just couldn't talk to her. And then she was like, blah, 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 how you do this? Oh, you should come visit me at the mosque and see what we doing. Because they had known each other since I think they knew each other since they were like, she was 16 and I think he was 19.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, he went off to Vietnam. And then he came back and got into Islam and brought her into it. So yep.
That's the Leo.
So it
That's the
can be
Leo.
done. He brought her
That's the
out the
Leo. That's the
church
Leo
into the
technique.
mosque.
That's the
Huh?
Leo technique. That's the Leo technique he used. I know that one.
What, showing? Strutting?
He slow walked her.
Yeah.
Slow walk.
I guess she was worth it, you know.
Lions, though, you don't have to be fast when you're trying to catch a prey. You don't have to be fast. The objective is to catch them. You don't. Time is of the essence. You know what I'm saying? If you see something, you just have to take your time and like, yeah, I'm gonna
So
get her.
do you think he was doing that to her, or she was doing that to him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Because she was watching him.
Listen, Leo,
Hey, he set it up fine. But she
Leo.
still had to observe him and pay attention. It was like, I think of it more like a peacock thing instead of a prey thing.
You know, that's what part of us lions are peacocks. We do like to strut our stuff. Zara, do you have any Leo? Yes, your moon. Definitely. She definitely got moon. Leo with her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and my 11th house is in Leo. So yeah. I really like
got
Leo.
You have stories that I need to hear. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, my life. You know that saying, I could tell you some things to turn your brain to water. I know what that means.
Yeah, I need those. I need those in my mental Rolodex. I need those.
It'll be a horror story. For real.
Never. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at some of the stuff I've heard. You know,
All right.
at the end of the day, people are just people. We got to give each other a break. I know you don't want to hear that, Zara. I know you like, but we really have to give.
I believe in breaks if you
we have
earned
to
it.
be sympathetic. We have to
No,
be.
I
We have to
believe
be
in breaks if
empathetic.
you earned it. You have to earn it because you can't even enjoy it if you don't earn it. You know.
No, yeah, true, but some people they never had the leg up. They never had like the pat on the back. Some of them really, I mean, it's some real broke people. Like the sister you just named. There's no if she made a dude wait 8 years for him finally to get with it, and she still found out that, man, her karma's crazy. Anyway, no dude could touch that. No dude.
I'm
could
like,
touch
how did you
ever.
not find out he was married in 8 years? I mean, the internet was out.
That's hurtful.
You know. You know, it was messed
That's
up.
hurtful.
She had this huge wedding and all this stuff. It was because my mother was part of the wedding. And it was crazy. Like, oh, wow. And then she came back from the honeymoon by herself, couldn't find her husband.
That's hurtful right there.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's his deal? You did this to her. For 8 years, you strung this woman along like that. And you had a wife.
It sounded like he was like, was she nice looking? I'm sorry.
I mean, you know, I guess. I mean,
it sounds like.
Sorry.
I apologize. I'm saying I apologize what I'm saying, but I think he, in his mind, you know, I don't throw salt on no guy's game or whatever, but because I don't know the brother, so I can't say anything against him. But there are a group of us that can say, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get to it no matter what. But that's cold though. I'm gonna conquer like that. You know. Yeah, you can't play the game like that. I don't even want to keep it. I just want to conquer it. Like that's a person, you know. But I guess they don't care. So now I know it's people out there that they really don't. They just see, what is that? The woman is the inconvenient bag of skin wrapped around the vagina. That's okay. You went quiet. because respectfully, that Leos see things in groups and in prides. Right. So at one point in life, I don't know where you were, Sister Zara, but you had more than a few young men who were smitten for you. Oh yeah. Oh, and you played them like the keys on the piano. No, I laugh at them because Could you say laugh? Every single one of them started out as my friend. And it's like, what are you doing? That kind of thing. And I'm a Gemini. It's like, are you serious? Gemini does not do serious. They don't do much. All right. Oh, you want to push up on me? I got some jokes. The pimps. Air signs of pimps. Sarouche. Okay, Sarouche. His Rolodex. Sarouche, check me on this. Examine me on this, Sarouche. Tell me if I'm wrong. I learned when you start dealing with the upside down, the inverted pyramids and whatnot. On the bottom is the earth, and the water signs saturate the earth. You know what I'm saying? In order for something to grow, you need some fire, something to bring some life into the soil. And once it comes from up under the soil, that fire emerges. The air is what brings it, allows it to grow. Well, I like that analogy. So the earth is on one place. That's for everybody. The water is the next step. Some of them you have to be careful, but they work very well with the earth signs. And then the fire signs, we're very, very passionate. We're the we can be promiscuous, so to speak. We're very passionate, see, and we will go down and deal with the water and the earth to play, but we don't necessarily want to marry or them. We want to marry air signs, and now then we come to the top. The air signs hover over everybody, and they can go down to any level that they want and play, and then go back up. You see how that works?
Yup.
Yes,
You got it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Don't be telling people our stuff.
Am I
That's
giving away
exactly
the
how.
secrets?
Our stuff.
Am I
That's
giving away
exactly
the
how.
secrets?
Yep.
That's how I feel.
Yep. You got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So y'all have the ability, the bird. When I was looking at the movie, and I'm gonna shut up, y'all. I told them I'm not talking much. The Lion King. The birds on the Lion Kings were the air sign. They were everywhere and nowhere. They knew everybody's business. They knew everybody in the movie. They talked to everybody. They went. They intermingled with everybody. They knew everything. That's
Right.
the air sign.
Wow.
And it's not and so and
Can't
you're
keep
quicker
contained.
you're quicker than everybody. So before somebody can run a game on you, you see it coming.
Yep.
Our only the defense against the air sign is that they're flighty. They can't stay long. They can't stay long. If they sit for a minute, but they're gonna get too antsy, they're gonna move away. When they move away, that's when you can start moving around. That's how you have to look at that. Now, the only air sign, especially for the Leo, that you can't play like that is the fixed air sign, which is 180 from us.
Right.
Because the Aquarius is fixed too. And they sitting right there looking at you like, yeah, I know you're waiting on me to leave. I'm not going anywhere. And my wife's moon sign is Aquarius. And she does not talk. She's a thinker. So, okay, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say nothing. You would rather for a woman to talk and say what you think. When a woman just thinks, for a person who think with the Leo with a Virgo moon sign.
Yeah, you
I'm
should be
thinking
worried.
with,
A
come
thinking
on
Gemini
now.
woman.
Come on
Yeah, I'd
now.
be worried.
Come on now. but it's a perfect match because it's scary. It's enough to make me, and I needed somebody to help me be disciplined. I'm saying that for everybody, whoever listens to this. I needed the discipline. I needed somebody that I was afraid to lose.
Oh,
And
that's
and
what's
all
up.
of my partners, when I met her, was like, hey, she ain't finna put up with that. She ain't finna put up with that. That all that, what I'm saying, you used to do that. She not gonna deal with that. They just saw it in her that she not gonna put up with that. And that works. So some dudes really need I don't want to say a warden, but like somebody that you're afraid to lose. When a dude finds somebody that he's afraid to lose, then he's just about ready to get married. Because, you know, and Sarush was like, it doesn't even matter to him at all. So his generation is, if they pay, then women can forget it.
The wild part is that I'm a Libra, so what they said is Libra usually doesn't get serious or try to settle down until
Right.
they're like
Mm-hmm.
50s or 60s.
Yeah,
and
they love everybody. Yeah,
and
that could go either way, however you like.
I just say I mean, settling down is settling down. If you're already chilling, then it's like whatever, you know what I mean? But that, hearing that, and then looking at what people call normal, I understand it. It's like as this air sign, I wouldn't accept that for another 30 years. You know what I mean? It's just that, we don't have that. You know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Like 20 years, whatever. I would keep doing me, you know what I'm saying? But we got what Earth is doing to think about too, you know. That's why I always go back to the community, you know, and just say like, you know, by making sure everybody's straight, that's what make everything, you know what I'm saying? As long as
Right.
everybody's straight, then
Yep,
everybody's straight,
that's
you know.
Libra.
Right.
That's Libra.
So that's
Yep.
pretty much where I'm at with it. Like community, and I'm good, you know.
And y'all usually can find the bag.
Yeah.
Libras usually can find the bag. I don't know how, but y'all air signs. Period. I don't. Y'all just it's like y'all know where the money is before it gets there. Like, how did you know that? Like, how did you, how did you?
Well,
What kind of? What
shoot.
did you?
Gemini rules the market,
Yes.
mercantile, Mercury, right? And then
Yeah.
Libra rules Venus, that's value, you know.
Mm.
Actually Venus rules Libra and Taurus. Taurus is value. Libra is like I guess accumulated beauty, like art and all that stuff.
Mm.
Right? And then
Mm-hmm.
what is that? Aquarius is the second domicile of Saturn, right? So Saturn, remember, it gives you your fruits. So you got Jupiter, you expand somewhere. Next is Sagittarius is Jupiter, you expand. Then Capricorn, which is Saturn, you get the fruits from your expansion. And then Aquarius is like I guess like sharing it with the world.
Right.
It's Saturn, right? So for so if you are, it's the fruits, it's the second house of the fruits, right?
Right.
So because okay, to look at the houses, right? um so Capricorn, Aquarius is the second house from Capricorn, right? So if like you're a
Right.
Capricorn rising, your second house, your value house would be Aquarius. So second from Capricorn is Aquarius, and Saturn rules that sign too. So you're getting value from all your work. So basically all the air signs are like reward signs almost, right?
Yeah.
You got the market, you got Venus with the value, and then you got Saturn, the
See,
fruits from your labor.
see why I call y'all. See why I say y'all have magic wands and y'all genies in the bottle. That's why I can sense it. I can sense it. Like how did
Yeah, but
that's
as fast as it come and go too, that part.
but you know where to find it again. You don't worry about it.
Yeah, that
You
part,
don't
yeah.
worry about it.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? I try to get my hand. More I hold it, try to hold. No, it slips away. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get mine and go hide it. Y'all just don't worry about it. Just keep going. Just enjoy
Mm-hmm.
it. Just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just you don't understand. Just listening to y'all is a blessing. Just listening to like the perspectives, it's a blessing, Like well, this is number 6 for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All
It's
right,
been
we
a
made it to
blessing,
6.
man.
I hope we can make it to 7. Come on, y'all, we can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't see why not. I don't see
Absolutely.
why not.
that's
Yeah.
what's up.
Um, astrology class was
Oh yes, 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 yes.
crazy,
Ooh.
crazy. She she broke down the decans and broke down how when they go with like every 30 degrees inside your sign, it changes. I'm just gonna give you my highlights right fast. I told you my best friend, my brother, he's in the first decan.
Right.
Well, that part of Leo is actually ruled by the sun, the first 10 degrees. Then the second decan is ruled by Sagittarius. And the third which parts I'm in, is ruled by Aries.
Okay,
I
that makes
didn't
sense.
know
That
I
makes sense.
didn't know that they were broken down like that, but I did know we would always discuss that those Leos of the middle decade, we don't mess with them because they were over the top. It's like, man, you doing too much. That's the
That's
Sagittarius
Jupiter,
Leo.
yo.
Okay, there it is. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay. That
yeah.
that yeah.
That's what's
That
up. I
blessed me
never,
right
I
there.
never looked at it like that. That's a great
Yeah.
way to. It makes sense, and what an easy way to remember the decades too. So, what the air signs would the first be? Gemini, or okay for Gemini.
I'm just gonna find my little page right
Yeah,
there.
or even like whichever one you want to go with next, because that actually makes a lot of sense how you described it. All the decans are fire signs.
It's like, I don't know, what paperwork. Where's my Sorry, I'm gonna send it to you because I got
You
got
took
something.
notes. That's what's
But no,
up.
for every sign it changes. Like, so for air signs, then it switches, and then you'll have one decade for a certain type of air sign rule, and another decade for another air sign rules. Like, just for the fire signs, it's just for us, and then when it comes to
Oh,
y'all, you
okay.
have your own. It's yeah, it was. I never knew that. Of course,
I didn't either. Well, I just learned something.
yeah, but it was awesome though. It was awesome, especially we dealt with the
The
trees,
trines.
yeah, trines
Yeah.
and squares. So I think it was
The
squares.
easiest and the hardest.
So 90, 90, 90 or something, like, this, and how you could turn it and it still has to say the same way, and that will be your wait a minute. The trine is the cardinal fix and the mutable signs, right? No?
No, the trines are
Trine.
all
My
the
bad.
elements.
Elements. Okay, the
Yeah,
elements.
our
Right, right, right,
elements.
right.
The squares are the cardinal mutable
Okay, there
and
we go. There we go. 4 and 3.
fixed.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. Okay. All
yeah,
right. All right.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was
Because you
good.
can
It
look at
was
the
good.
squares as a cross too. They're always
Right.
it's a cross on the chart. So yeah.
I don't. She kept saying that we had this little sheet with, like, your best mate or whatever. I don't deal with Aquarius like that. Every Aquarius I had a situation with, it wasn't.
Well, maybe you met the wrong Aquarius. Or maybe the best mate isn't necessarily somebody you're gonna like, but they're the best one for you.
Here you go.
What? I mean, hey, I say it all the time. Love is easy. Like is hard, right?
That may be true. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh man, the worst thing the thing I do not want to feel is that what I don't like about you is I see myself in you. Now, see, that's what hurt my ego, and that may be it. That you're acting like me, and that's why I don't like it. Which is
Well,
why I
what's
told
an
my parents I
Aquarius?
never wanted to have.
What has to be an
Go ahead.
Aquarius that she said represented your relation or the best person for you?
Yeah, because they're 180.
Oh, she's talking about the opposite sign is the best for you?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay, how about this? It doesn't have to be an Aquarius, right? It could be somebody like a Leo with their sun in the 11th house, right?
Okay.
Or what else? I'm trying to think of it. But you see what I mean? Because their sun being in that 11th house ruled by Aquarius gives them more Aquarian qualities, right?
Mm.
So yeah. Or if they're
Mm.
the ruler of their chart is in the 11th house, or the ruler of their chart is in Aquarius. So they might be a Gemini, right? And then her Mercury is in Aquarius because the ruler of her chart is in Aquarius. So that's how an Aquarius will be good for you. That kind of thing. It doesn't have to be an Aquarius sun sign or moon sign, but it's a moon sign, which is kind of cool if you think about it, right? Because her sun, I'm just saying by sign, not by degrees. Your sun opposes her moon. That, I know they say, oh, that might be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm like, isn't that how nature kind of works? The sun is the man, and then the moon is across from him. That's his woman. He's looking across to his partner, and it's her moon. You know, you're looking at her moon in your opposite house. Right. And she's reflecting back to you. Right. Because I mean, what is that? Aquarius, since it's the opposite of Leo, you can pull from that side, right? Especially in times of stress. And her moon is right there. So, I mean, she can, she can help you deal with like emotionally trying times, right?
Yes.
So, because her moon is right, she knows you're going to her and you're opposite. I mean, I think it's beautiful the way it's set up. It's really cool. Her moon is across from your sun. That's dope. That's dope. It really is.
Yes.
That's really cool. That's like harvest time. It's a full moon, right? That's really cool. So yeah.
Thank you. So,
yeah, we should do some synastry charts. That would be fun.
What's that?
Synastry, where you look at how two people's charts work together.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm a Libra rising, so I'm all about that stuff.
Let's do that. I was just thinking, so what we gonna do for next week? And then you said let's do some synergy charts, and then Saru said facts. See how quick that is. See how that goes around the board. That's fast, right? I'm with that.
Oh, let me leave y'all with some study materials real quick.
All right.
This is easy. You can just look at some charts and see how it works out for you. Last week we were talking about we were going through Brother Farad's chart, right?
Right.
And he was talking, and I looking at his chart saw that he had a house full of people, and they were all talkative and all that stuff, right? And I went back into his chart, like, okay, that 9 thing. He said that he had 9 children in his family, right? And I went back into his chart, and his 4th house is at 9 degrees of Gemini. So his 4th house is his mother, right? And Gemini rules siblings. So I thought that was interesting. And here's your homework, right? The degrees thing. Start looking at them, because you can kind of see stuff that's coming or going to happen around you. So the way they work is that okay, it's 30 degrees in a sign, right?
Right.
The first 12 signs, right, correspond to the first 12 degrees, or 12 first 12 degrees. So 1st degree Aries, 2nd degree Taurus, 3rd degree Gemini, on and on around the zodiac, right?
Okay.
0 degrees is also Aries. All right. So 0 and 1 are Aries. There is no 30 degree. That's actually 0 and 30 are actually exactly the same. So you go all the way around to or once you get to 12 and to the 13th degree, it starts back at Aries again. Right?
Okay.
So looking at the degrees and just subtract once you get past 12 or once you get to 13, subtract 12 from everything, or 24 if you have to, and that tells you what degree of which sign is that. Like with Brother Farad's chart, his sun is at 27 degrees of Gemini.
Okay.
So 2 times 12 is 24 or 27 minus 24 is 3. So his sun is at the degree of Gemini in Gemini. And that's how I was able to figure out he had a whole bunch of talking going on in his home because it was in the fifth house, his fourth house.
Okay.
That's how I did that.
Okay.
So you figure out what sign corresponds to that degree, and you can interpret how that planet's going to, or that, and that house, because you do it with the houses too. You can determine how that planet and or how that house are going to work. For instance, my moon, right, is at 18 degrees of Leo, right? Minus 12, that leaves 6, right? So it's at the degree of Virgo. I find work, Virgo, extremely emotionally fulfilling. My moon, right?
Yes.
Now, if I don't break it down, if I just go with the 18, right? The 18 period, according to the guy who taught this, he has like, okay, yes, 18 is the degree of Virgo, but this degree also indicates evil, right? My mother is a Leo. I'm gonna leave it at that. No, she stole people's identity. She used to be wild. Okay, I don't know if she still is, but she used to be out there. Not like you know,
where you can
nothing,
see
but
that,
just like white collar crime. And I'm
right.
just like, when I heard that, like, please don't let my moon be at 18 degrees. There it was, and my mother's a Leo. So, and I told my sister, she was like, I described it to. I was just telling my twin sister about it because she has hers at 18 degrees, and not to get too deep into it, but yeah, they've had some serious issues. And I described what 18 was, and she looked at her chart like, oh, you mean our mother is evil? She said it like straight up. That's her relationship with her, not mine, you know.
Yo.
And then that too, that it's kind of weird getting into the twin chart. No, I'm getting off of topic a little bit, but that was the homework. Go look at the degrees, right? But twins share their chart. And I'm starting to see this, right? Because I went back and watched the degrees video. I might send it, but they were talking about the example he started with was Mars in Gemini, right? Because he was like talking about two clients of his who had Mars in Gemini, and they both broke their arm around the same time. Because, okay, Mars rules injuries, right? Gemini rules the arm. So he's like, that part was easy. But he was like, it's weird that, you know, they both broke their arms in different places, like locations. So he looked at that. And one of them had his Mars in Gemini at the 4th degree or something like that. And he broke his arm at home. The other one had Mars in Gemini at the 6th degree. He broke his arm at work. I'm like, okay. So he kept going through the whole thing with Mars as examples for injuries. And I'm like, please let him get to Mars and Aries, and please don't let it be what I think it is. And he said it. Mars and Aries means injuries to your head, right? And I'm like, have I ever had any injuries to my head? And then I completely forgot about them, right? I've had two injuries to my head, right? Both of which were caused by my twin sister, who has never had an injury to her head. You understand what happened?
Oh, you got both of them.
And it's in my 7th house, so it'd be an injury to my head caused by somebody else.
Wow.
So yeah, and she's never had an injury to her head. I've had 2. Get it? So yeah, I got both of her injuries kind of messed up.
I'm going
so
to.
Yeah, look at those degrees and see what you see.
Yes.
Right? Just go through. Yes. 0 is also Aries. 1 is Aries. 2 Taurus, all the way around to 12, and then it starts off at Aries again, all the way around to 29, and then I think 29 is Leo. So yeah.
You started something now.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, you started something.
Who was I telling? I was telling somebody this where I used to have this theory that our people traveled around the world leaving pieces of knowledge, portions of our knowledge, right? Because they couldn't handle all of it. So I am not. I don't mind going back to other nations to find what I figure is our information anyway. This guy is Serbian. Apparently, in the Eastern Bloc, where there's a whole lot of Muslims, astrology is their baseball. This is the guy that came up with this degrees thing. So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. Sarush, can you please email me at editor@califamedia.com so I can have your email so I can send you some stuff.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I need your chart too, or your coordinates, and I'll send you mine too, because I think I might have some something that might interest you.
I've been thinking, like, I was like, I should just send them my chart. You know what I mean? That's like, it's wild because, like, for
this
Moorish,
stuff don't even
that's
surprise
nature.
me no more.
Yeah, like,
Just in tune right now.
Right,
I mean,
we really are mystical. If we just accept that, I just accept it.
Right.
My sister calls me a hippie. I'll be that. You just always just trying to tune into stuff. It works. I'll be meeting these people that how else would we have met?
Yeah.
This kind of just happened for real. It's really dope too. It's really cool. I love how it happened.
Absolutely.
It just
and
evolved.
I appreciate you not letting me say no, because I was trying to figure out how to. I don't know. She's trying to set me up for something. I don't know.
That's the Virgo overthinking. No,
right.
You gave yourself away. Like, got because I know Virgo moons. They always thinking. I gotta draw reports. Like, come on, let's just do this. We can do the reports afterwards, for real. I'll do one with you.
I need to see what we doing first. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Let me get a dry run first, and then we figure it out.
Let me help you with the Gemini Mercury. Let's just go.
I'm right, but I'm gonna go back because I tore my quad. I ruptured my quad muscle in my left leg.
Again, or this the same story?
January, no. January, like, you know what I'm saying, the 17, 18. And I want to go back and look at the coordinates for that. Like, you'll see what's, like,
yes,
it's something I can see that would lead to, like, yo, here it is right here. So when you mentioned that, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and see if I could do it for this date and see how that. Look
at your chart. That's exactly right. Look at your chart and the degrees of what was going on that day in the sky. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
Somebody who got, like, I think one of the things he said was bad was 15 degrees of Gemini. That those people, whenever Mercury is at 15 degrees of a sign it doesn't like, they need to stay away from cars, because that's like an indication you're gonna be in a car accident that day. Because of where your Mercury is and the transit of Mercury that's happening that day.
Okay, so okay.
This degree stuff, I mean, it's like a clock, right?
No, I'm telling you,
like a clock.
You know what you started about. To the Virgo moon, you talking about this is a playland. This is a.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Go look at these numbers.
Trying to lock me away for days and years, like, for real.
Oh, wait till I send you the video. You gonna be like, really?
Yeah.
Please, I hope we see you again next week, for real.
Please help me with that.
If we don't, I know where you are.
Please help me with that. But y'all have a very peaceful week.
It's love. Let me do that close out.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so thank you for joining us on another Talk Moorish to Me. This has been Sister Zara Bay, Brother Abir Chanan L, and Brother Sarush L. You can contact us by going to califamedia.com, 43rdbooks.com, that's 43rdbooks.com, and madebysarush.com. Have a safe and prosperous week, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Thank you.
Y'all be good.
Y'all too. See you next week. Peace.